What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. So many of you know this by now if you're on Twitter X, that George Floyd is trending. And I'm really surprised that you all are shocked at the revelation that has been exposed. I thought we all knew this. I thought we all knew about the original autopsy report that showed that Fentanyl Floyd died of his own doing, that he died from that drug use. And it wasn't because of Derek Chauvin. As a matter of fact, I specifically got in trouble on YouTube by making a video saying Derek Chauvin did nothing wrong. I got a strike for that. Yeah, you can't say those things that are factual. But yeah, I remember we all were saying this. Maybe some people were memeing, but I wasn't. And I know a lot of you weren't either. But I'm not going to really, talk too much about that. I want to talk about something, of course, you all, that's near and dear to my heart. Just you all going for the demographic that's just going to cause problems. Yes, I'm on that kick. I never got off. But anyway, let's get over let me go over the entire incident of how everyone is now discovering that Derek Chauvin did nothing wrong. Neither did the other 3 police officers. Here's the thing. What's going to be done now? Are the case going to get overturned? Are you guys going to release Derek Chauvin out of jail? If you are a police officer, I highly suggest that you do not work in these blue cities. This could happen to you. They don't respect you. They don't care for you. And they want to make you the scapegoat, just like they did with these police officers and dealing with this 5th head. Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and read this for a second, and then we're going to go into the article, and then I'm going to show a clip that basically proves my point in reference to a certain racial demographic that you guys are desperate so much to have over this side. Far left pressure in George Floyd case may have influenced trial despite lack of strangulation evidence. Court documents. Let me darken this up so I can read it better. The case surrounding George Floyd has taken another shocking turn as sworn testimony reveals that not only was there immense pressure on prosecutors to charge during the George Floyd case, but the county's medical examiner also stated that there, quote, were no medical indication that asphyxia or strangulation in relations to Floyd. We knew this, though. We knew this. This is not like mind-blowing information. We knew this. Many of us saw. Remember, they had 2 autopsy reports. The one by the medical examiner that's connected with the state or the city. I think in this case, the state. And then, of course, the family got their own medical examiner that was very biased and straight up just lied, or shall I say, fudged up the results. So we all looked at this medical examiner, the one that doesn't have any stake in the game and one that's not paid by the family, to want to push a certain narrative. This summer, hundreds of pages of sworn testimony from Hennepin County attorneys and county employees involved in the case of George Floyd revealed the extreme pressure prosecutors face in Hennepin County to charge Derek Chauvin and 3 other former Minneapolis police officers for the death of George Floyd. Per Alpha News, multiple employees of the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, including a prosecutor for the case, withdrew after stating that the pressure to charge the other 3 officers involved, quote, violated professional and ethical rules. Yes. All of that looting, all of that rioting, all of that fiery but peaceful protest over nothing. It was done. And let's not forget that this was during the peak of COVID. And everybody was told to social distance. Everybody was told to put on the mask. Remember that? And then what? These people were given a free pass. They didn't have to social distance, and they didn't. They didn't have to put on the mask. Most of them didn't. And of course, this was used an excuse to loot, rob, and also harm a lot of businesses, even businesses of people of color, from blacks to Asians to Latino Hispanics, and they even destroyed they even destroyed a police department. And this was all given no problem. The Democrats was like, let them get it out of the system. They're so oppressed. And I'm like, this is the racial demographic you guys went over on our side? Really? God, I swear. Anyway, okay. This information has come out after being included in a sex discrimination complaint filed by a former Hennepin County prosecutor, okay, let me see how you say her name. Amy Sweesey, I think. If that's not how I'm supposed to pronounce her name, let me know in the comments below. So Amy Sweesey, one of the office's top prosecutors against County Attorney Mike Freeman. In the 2022 complaint, she alleged that she disagreed with the county attorney, the CA county attorney about charging in the case, stating that she believed they violated professional and ethical rules. She ultimately withdrew from the case, further claiming that the three other male assistant attorneys also disagreed with Freeman and refused to work on the case. After the disagreement, Sweesey alleged that the county attorney engaged in discrimination and reprisal against me. Well, this is her talking. She said that he reprisal against me, which included but not limited to ostracizing me, treating me hostilely, removing job duties, and refusing to assign me to the role for which I was trained. The attorney for former Minneapolis police officer, okay, I don't know how to pronounce this Asian name, Tao Thou, I think, and J. Alexander Kuhn tied Sweesey's statement to the George Floyd case, writing that on May the 20th, 2022, a complaint went public relating to Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman harassing and retaliating against prosecuting attorney Amy Sweesey after she disagreed for wanting to charge Mr. Thal and Mr. Lane and Mr. Kroon. I'm sorry if I'm messing up these officers' names. I do that. I'm not doing that disrespectfully. I wish I knew how to pronounce your names for their involvement. Hennepin County has since settled with Sweesey, agreeing to pay her $109,000. Girl, that's it. That's all you got. Further documents revealed that Senior Assistant County Attorney Patrick Lofton, who worked alongside Sweesey, stated that, quote, the relationship between Sweesey and Freeman soured after Lofton and Sweesey withdrew from the officer's case formally on June the 3rd, 2020. During the June the 6th deposition, Lofton went on to discuss the extreme premium pressure prosecutors were under to charge Derek Chauvin and the other officers involved since, quote, the city was burning down, per Lofton. Yeah, fiery but peaceful protest. All of that for nothing. All of this for inner tube lip George Floyd. During Sweesey's deposition, she went on to discuss the conversation she had with the Hennepin County medical examiner, Dr. Andrew Baker, the day after Floyd's death. According to Sweesey, after performing an autopsy on Floyd, Baker stated that, quote, there were no medical findings that showed any injury to the vital structure of Mr. Floyd's neck. And we knew this. There were no medical indication of asphyxia or strangulation per the transcript. Per Sweesey, Baker then went on to state, quote, Amy, what happens when the actual evidence doesn't match up with the public narrative that everyone's already decided on? And then he said, this is the kind of case that end careers. You don't say. It ended 4 police officers' careers. And it also in the careers of many others who have who knew about the first autopsy and spoke up about it. This is, in my opinion, this is like gaslighting, because we all saw the first autopsy and we were like, yeah, he didn't die of being strangled or the knee on the neck, the whole I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? He did this. But I want to show you something. It's a very good video. I just want y'all to know, I'm not on Team Tucker ever since he has whitewashed Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. So he lost a lot of editorial credibility with me with that. So I'm not listening to his monologue about the whole incident because I don't care. Right now all I hear is I'm a liar, I'm a liar, I'm a liar, I'm a liar, I'm a liar. So when you do that, when you sit up here and you defend a pimp and you don't even do your due diligence, you don't even do the investigation into the case, and you go there and just take their word, I thought better of Tucker, but looks like the doctor of common sense was right about him all along. But anyway, I want to play this video by Mr. Ellison, who is dead on about what's going on with the type of image that Floyd was supposed to be created, so that you have black people to have a new martyr, because they're getting over Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They want a new dead hero to follow. And this is why I'm saying, like, out of all the racial demographics you all want to go for, you go for these people. I mean, let me just show you something here, just real quick here. Look at this, and I hope you can see it. Yeah, you can. You can see it right here. Let me see if I can enlarge it for a second. I don't understand. The black community has went from 16% of the population to 15 to 14. Then they went down to 13, and we've been 13% for many, many years. And now we're currently at 12.2. And at that 12.2, I would have to say probably 75% actually vote. Yet still, white people will break their neck to sit up here and say, we need to get the black people off the Democratic plantation. No, let them stay over there. You want them over here so they can have all these crazy demands about reparations, so they can come over here and have all these crazy demands about, you guys need to give us some money and let us have some free this and free that, and we need to go to the colleges for free and give us our 40 acres in the. You want all this stuff because Trump loves these people. He is drunk with basically their love, and he wants it back so bad that he wants to come in and have all these organizations that's guaranteed, that failed miserably, to get these people from the Democratic side over to the Republican side. And instead of you concentrating on a racial demographic or the ethnic demographic that is more likely to vote for you, like the Hispanics, okay? Look at this. White people obviously overwhelmingly will vote Republican, but then you got 93% during the 2022 midterm. During the 2022 midterms, 93% blacks voted for Democrats. Let them stay where they want. Stop being a white savior. You guys are so pathetic. Anyway, and I don't care if you get mad. Prove me wrong. I don't care if you get mad, because you get mad because you know I'm telling the truth. And I've always been this way. So let's look at this. I thought this was a great interview of Mr. Ellison. I think that's how you say it.
Everett Ellison seemed like a good man to ask. He's the author of Crime, Inc. He joins us now. Vince, thanks so much for coming on. So, as with so many other stories, the origin of COVID, it's a blessing to have you. We now know what actually happened, but the question then is, what do you do with that knowledge? We know that the U.S. government, Tony Fauci, worked with the Chinese to create the virus that overturned the American economy, but What do we do with that knowledge? What do we do with the knowledge that George Floyd was not actually strangled to death by a cop?
We have to acknowledge the people that gave it to us and why. See, George Floyd is the Democratic Party's prototypical black man. These are the black men they are trying to create. So George Floyd has to be elevated. He has to be celebrated. He's perfect to them. He was poor. He was uneducated. He was a drug addict. He didn't have a job.
And this is what you guys want on the Republican side, really? These are the type of voters you're going for? Have you no shame?
He was down there begging and crying and asking the white people to not kill him. To a Democrat, to a white Democrat, this is the perfect black man. So he has to be elevated. Look, not a few days ago, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden celebrated hip-hop music. They had a celebration of hip-hop.
Hip-hop culture is America's culture. It is a genre. It is music and melody and rhyme. And hip-hop is also an ethos.
A music genre that calls the black man the N-word, calls women the W word and the B word, talks about misogyny, shooting police.
Yeah. And this is the demographics y'all want. These are the demographics y'all want. Like, we need to have them over here to vote for us. You would never allow these people into your communities. You would never want to live next to these people, but you are so hard up for their vote. Instead of you going after a very growing, not a progressive, but a very growing, thriving, and half of them tend to vote Republican, or they have conservative, they are socially conservative. You go after the racial demographic that is still underneath the Lyndon B. Johnson's curse. Yeah.
Smoking dope, selling dope, fighting, killing, acting a fool. They celebrated this genre. Why? Because this is how they see black America. They see us the same way they see George Floyd. And they have to make more of us, because everywhere they rule, John F. Kennedy stood in front of the Berlin Wall in the 60s and said, if you think that communism is great, let them come to Berlin. Well, if you think that the Democratic Party is great, let them come to Detroit. Let them come to Chicago. Let them come to St. Louis. Let them come to L.A., Portland, Seattle, Memphis.
Yeah, all blue cities. See, I like saying all of the S-hole cities are democratically ran. I don't want to put Republicans in that narrative, and you shouldn't either. We're going to listen to just a little bit of this. I'll leave a link to the entire video if you want to see. It's pretty good, but this is what I'm saying. I'm coming at this with a different narrative. We all knew, most of us knew this in reference to George Floyd. This is nothing new. And when it comes to, going after a demographic that don't like you, that's constantly calling y'all white supreme pieces, is always blaming something on the racist narrative, or want to play the victim, you're so thirsty, you're so hard up to just go after the very people that want nothing to do with you. They come with problems, and you don't even seem to understand this. Here it is. We have 4 innocent police officers. 4 innocent police officers, including Derek Chauvin, who is white, who is suffering. They have given up. They're suffering behind bars, but they have no freedom because of a narrative, because of a lie that we all knew. But because Derek Chauvin and the rest of them are the wrong type of color, especially Derek Chauvin, well, he's just going to have to pay the price for all of the racial discrimination, slavery, Jim Crow, and whatever the Democrats will come up with. I hope that those police officers are let out of jail now, and I hope that they sue Minneapolis to poverty. It's already an asshole city. I mean, this is just ridiculous. We have innocent former police officers in jail. And I'm glad that a lot of these blue cities are having problems filling police officers. Good. You didn't appreciate them when you had them. You tried to defund them. You vilify them. Now you're begging them to come. Nah. You're just going to have to suffer the consequences. And good on you. You know what I'm saying? You get to suffer. Because we love our police officers down here in Georgia.
Where they rule, you'll see George Floyd's all over the place. And they're proud of them. In Baltimore, Maryland, they spend $21,000 per child for every child up there inside the school district. Not one school is proficient in math, science, or reading.
Not one. And y'all want this problem over here? You guys want the Republicans got the black people, and they can barely read. They don't know nothing about math. Yeah, let Democrats hold that L, dude.
Keep it going every year. Why? Because they're producing George Floyd. And George Floyd's vote for the Democrat Party.
But why would, so when most of us, you, me, I think all normal people look at George Floyd's life, you think this is a disaster. This guy never added anything. He took a lot in prison at least 8 times. I mean, his life was a tragedy at best. Why would you want more people like that?
Because the Democrats love victims. And unless the Republicans want to have victims too, I suggest you let the victims stay with the victim enablers. I don't want to look at no more of this. You guys know where I'm coming from. You guys know what I'm on. You guys know what side of the fence I am on. And you know where I stand in this position. I really don't have anything to add in reference to George Floyd because, like I said, this is something I already knew. We already knew. Like I said, I got a strike for that. So, I mean, this is not no mind-blowing thing for me. I mean, this was something I already knew, but am I alone? I mean, I can't. I know a lot of you. Please comment. Make a comment below this video. Let me know that I was not alone in knowing this information, knowing that George Floyd died from overdose or the side effects of the drugs that he were taking, that it had nothing to do with Derek Chauvin, nothing. So I feel like they're gaslighting because I'm like, I knew this already. But anyway, we'll see. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to give me a like. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, taters.